And good morning, good Saturday morning, beautiful Saturday morning. Where's all the water that they talked about all week for Saturdays? They started pushing it back, didn't they?
Well, I'm glad they did.
Yeah, I am too.
I mean, I'm so sick of it.
We have had enough wet Saturdays.
Oh, how many in a row? I mean, it seemed like it was building to a record.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, nice to see this.
But it is beautiful outside this morning.
75 today, 74, something like that. Really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool now, but it's going to be beautiful later.
I do think there's a chance of rain tomorrow now.
Is there?
But we'll see. Maybe that'll change.
Good day
tomorrow.
for the running of the roses.
How about that?
Yeah.
The running of the roses. We got a big negative to talk about.
Oh, huge negative.
About,
It's just a
yeah.
little gloom kind of.
Not a great week.
No, not at all.
Not a great
at
week.
Churchill Downs.
4 horses.
Yeah, 4 horses dead.
Yeah, 4 horses.
2 from injury and 2 that just collapsed.
Is that what it was? I didn't hear the details, but I did hear that one of them was one of the favorites to win.
Yeah.
The first one, I think, that died.
Now one of the trainers has been suspended indefinitely while they investigate the cause of these horses' deaths.
Yeah.
So
the ones that collapsed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess they got to do
they didn't
that.
Weren't both owned by the same guy, were they?
I'm not sure about that.
That would be reason for investigation.
Reason
right
for
there.
investigation. Yeah.
Oh man, but we talked about the names last week because they kept popping up on my screen. There I was thinking, well, surely the running of the roses is not today, and it wasn't. Always the first Saturday in May, up in Louisville, Kentucky, at Churchill Downs, and I try to always make it a point to watch.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm doing something, I stop and try to watch. I've even been at restaurants before when it's time for it to run. And
well, I'll have to watch it on replay because I'll be at a banquet tonight.
A banquet. It'll be
when the thing probably.
What time does it start? The banquet.
6 o'clock. 6.
Yeah.
So.
You know, you probably check NBC right now, and the pre-race shows might be on already.
I know.
It's as
They've
bad
already
as the
started.
Super Bowl.
Oh, what hype! It's about as bad as the Super Bowl.
At least the Super Bowl has 3.5 hours of action.
And it's got 2 minutes. You got.
They take 7 hours to build up to 2 minutes.
Two most exciting minutes in sports.
Yeah, that's incredible. But now there are races all day long, but they don't show those races on at least the national networks.
Oh yeah, there are races going on all day.
They
long.
may show them on. There's a couple channels
devoted just to horse racing.
Yeah, you might be able to catch them on there, but.
Also, did you know this is the 50th anniversary of Secretariat's Triple Crown?
50. How about that? 50.
Think about it.
Yeah, what's scary is we remember that well, and it's been 50 years. Everybody but Brett.
Who could forget? Even if you weren't alive and you saw his races on tape.
Oh, the distance.
The distance
of victory. That's unbelievable.
Hey, he set records at all 3 tracks that haven't been broken.
And you're talking about times.
Times.
Yeah,
the
times. Yeah. I was just getting. That was my next question. Has any horse ever? You know, I wonder what the second fastest horse on record would be. You know.
And people still make pilgrimages to Secretariat's grave, his gravesite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, about 6 months ago. It's funny you brought that up. About 6 months to a year ago, I saw. On the news, they had a funeral for a horse, and you know what the horse's claim to fame was? I mean, this was like they were showing this thing nationally.
Was that the one that lost every
Never
race?
won a race.
Yeah.
Never won a race.
Yeah.
And it had a big time funeral because it had and it was like over 100 entries, you know, or maybe 200, but had never won a race. I'm guessing, I don't know, how often you think, I know like we got a 2-week gap till which one's second, Preakness, and then a 3-week gap to the
Belmont.
That's right. We just need to ride down to Gaston County and watch that Belmont Stakes.
Yeah, it's not far, 30 miles. Yeah, we can do it.
Is there a written rule or an unwritten rule about how long you should wait before a racing a horse from one to the next. I mean,
Right.
it's 2 weeks. Since there's a 2-week gap in between the first two, that's why I wonder: is that standard? But you don't know. I mean, these people might run a horse in a race today at a track. But I just wonder if there's sanction. When you're sanctioned, is there rules on
There could be.
on the gaps? Because I don't know the answer to that. But I would guess they might run them back-to-back days, maybe same-day races. Who knows?
Mhm.
But I don't know how tough that is.
This
Yeah,
is
well,
on
there's
the
a lot of
horse.
things behind the scenes in some of these big tracks. Horses do die. They're injured.
Yeah, I
They have to be put down. So, and the
It's still
public,
amazing, though, and I'm going to let Brett get his comment. It's amazing to me, with all the technology in the world today, that a horse can't be saved if it breaks a certain part of its
I know.
body.
It's still the
But-
same way as it was 1,000 years
I know.
ago, right? That's an interesting point.
Yeah. It's always bothered me that
No.
they can't be saved.
I
Yeah.
know. At least, maybe not saved to race again, but at least to live. I mean,
Well, even if you had to take the leg off, I don't know if a horse can. I don't know what you do. I don't know if they have prosthetic legs for horses or not. But
it's still done the same way it used to be. I mean, different methods, obviously.
yeah,
It says a horse races. A racehorse race frequency varies. Higher class horses race once a month or less.
Mhm.
okay.
Lower level racehorses run every couple weeks.
Well, I
Yeah.
disagree with that because that's pretty high level. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I guess
Triple Crown.
these 5 weeks are an exception
Yeah.
to that.
And that's really why the Triple Crown is still pretty hard to win. I mean, a horse has to perform, over a period of 5 or
Yeah,
6
and he might be
weeks.
going against horses that didn't run
They
in the
didn't
first
run
two.
in the first two.
Yeah. the first
Oh yeah,
two legs.
there's always
And he's
Always,
fresh,
yeah.
and things like that. But
some different ones at each
Mhm.
race.
I don't even know when we had our last Triple
I
Crown.
was going to ask you what horse was our last Triple Crown?
Well, didn't American
Winner.
Pharaoh do it?
Yeah, American Pharaoh. did
Well,
it.
I don't know if that was the most recent.
I remember that one, though.
2012.
is that what it was?
American Pharaoh.
The one thing I was thinking about is, we went so long there at one time.
No, 2015. Justify was the most recent.
We went from 1948 to 1973.
That's what made Secretariat
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah.
It had been that long.
Yep, 1948 to 73, so 25 years. And then you had one in 77 and 78.
Yeah.
Now, explain that logic.
There's no explanation for the frequency of Triple Crowns.
Citation was the last before that big gap.
Right.
Citation in 48, then Secretariat in 73. 4 years later, Seattle Slew,
Seattle Slew.
1977, and then 78 affirmed. And Brett, you said the last one was?
American Pharaoh in 2015,
Mhm.
Justify in 2018.
Yep.
Okay. So,
And there again, we had gone from 78 to 2015. What's that, 37? Am I adding that right, Brett?
Yeah.
37
yeah,
years?
37 years.
it's a rarity.
Evidently. I wonder how many, and this is, you don't have to look this up here. I just wonder how many won the first two
And, a lot.
all time. How many have
Quite
won
a
the
few.
first two and then did not win
Faded in the Belmont.
the Belmont?
Stakes.
Yeah.
The 1.5 distance.
Yeah. Because it seems like there's been one more recently, maybe, since Justify, that might be in that category.
Yeah. Could
That may
be.
have won the first two.
Yeah, we've had several, a
And
lot
then-
of those.
Yeah, and then not made it to the last one. Lenny says, I think 2 of the 4 were trained by the suspended trainer.
He's right. That's what I thought.
2 of the 4 that we're talking about, the horses that died on the track
Right.
this week.
And that's reason to suspend him, I think, for no other reason that it happened to his horses.
That was Lenny, and now we get one from Denny that says, listening on my way to Cincinnati,
It's a natty.
watching the Pirates and the Pirates, watching them play college ball, and then watching the Reds take on the White Sox tonight. So I'm guessing watching Reds White Sox tonight, and then watching East Carolina.
Yeah, it's going to get a big dose
Tomorrow.
of it today.
Or maybe they play at a time where you can do both. Take both in today. Maybe they got a day game. He gets there in time. He watches it and then goes to watch the Reds and the Pirates.
Reds and White Sox.
Reds and White Sox. Pirates? Yeah, I started to say why did I say Pirates, but that's the East Carolina Pirates when I said it. Yeah, White Sox and Reds. I think he's been there before to the new ballpark, Great American Ballpark. It's really, really. I've not been, but just to see it on TV, it ranks up there with some of the nicer baseball parks this day and time. I don't know if you remember any of these names or not. Sir Barton was your first Triple Crown winner. Gallant Fox. Peyton Manning's owned a horse in 1930. You know what the name of it was?
Omaha.
Got it. Omaha was the winner in 35. War Admiral. Why was that one so popular? Because that's a name you hear. Was maybe it the most dominant horse till Secretariat came along?
Yeah, War Admiral. Man of War. Yeah.
Was a descendant of Man of War?
Could be.
Is that what it may be? Whirlaway, Count Fleet, Assault, Citation, and then your most current one, Secretariat, Seattle Slew, Firm, American Pharaoh, and Justify. So,
American Pharaoh and Justify both trained by
Bob Baffert.
Bob Baffert,
Also
he's the man. He's suspended too.
Yeah.
But for how long?
I thought it was a lifetime.
Oh, is it?
They
need to call that something other than suspended.
Or maybe it's
he's expelled.
About banishment.
Maybe it's an indefinite suspension. I don't know. Maybe they haven't given him a time.
You think he's having dinner with Pete Rose? In the same, fall into the same category. I'm
not sure.
Different sports.
I don't know if they've ever said how long he's got to stay away.
Was that for suspicion of gambling or drugging horses?
I think it was more to do with the latter there. I don't think it had anything to do with
some kind of cheating. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's we've seen that throughout horse racing history. Trainers trying to get advantage, drugs.
They're bad as humans.
It's almost human. It's like steroids.
These horses are as bad as humans. I would have claimed that the horse took it without my knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. He did it on his own.
This says a 2-year suspension.
Okay, so that explains. I think he was absent last year, right?
Yep. And it was Medina Spirit in 2021 that tested positive for a
Did it win the first 2 legs?
Substance.
That might be the one I'm thinking about. Did it win the first 2 and then?
I was thinking. It didn't get to run in the Preakness.
But still won the first 2 legs. It would still be the same. That's what I'm looking for. Horses that won the first 2.
Well, no, I was thinking it won
and didn't win
the Kentucky Derby,
final.
and then
didn't go anymore.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't either. Well, the only reason, maybe it was all the controversy is the reason I remember
later that year.
But I do remember the name. Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Because of the illegal tampering.
Well, no, I don't know if it. I don't know if the death.
That's the first thing comes to my mind. That's the first thing.
If you had to win one of the 3 legs, would it be the Derby?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's the most famous race. Yeah. You can ask everybody.
Oh yeah, he did race in the Preakness. He finished 3rd.
Oh, okay. So he got more juiced up.
And he was
more juiced up for the Belmont. Or didn't even run.
No, he did not run in the Belmont.
Okay.
He wasn't allowed to run in the Belmont.
Is there any reason to run if you win the first, lose the second?
Well, I'm sure there's still a lot of money that
there is a lot of money at stake. But
I've been trying to think of
how old do they have to be, Mike, to run in this? At least 2.
You got to be a 3-year-old, don't you?
Okay, is it 3?
To run
at least 3.
I don't know if they have to be 3, but that's what they typically are. Yeah, I guess maybe they do.
I think there is I think there's an age, and I don't know if there's a top end or not. I don't know if you age out or not.
Yeah, I think it's really for 3-year-olds.
But I've never seen that I remember a horse try to do it twice.
No.
You know what I mean? Running the Kentucky Derby twice. So maybe there's a limit. And maybe it's 3-year-old period. and so you only have an opportunity to run it one time.
And of course,
This says it's for 3-year-old horses.
Okay.
3-year-olds.
4 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
FOR.
Three.
FOR, 3-year-old.
Yep, that makes sense then. You only get a chance to run it one single.
I've been trying to think of songs this morning with Kentucky in the title.
Kentucky Rain.
Kentucky Rain.
It's also got rain in the title.
Yeah. Kentucky Woman by Neil Diamond.
Well, how about the Kentucky Headhunters? They got to have some kind of
They
song.
got to have something.
The group has to have something in there with
Blue Moon of Kentucky. No.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Your Blue Kentucky Girl.
Oh my, Mike's wheeling them off. Now I don't know that one.
I was thinking anything about bourbon or whiskey,
Yeah.
American whiskey.
And
Well,
Kentucky is the
Tennessee
Jim
whiskey.
Beam one, right? Or is it the Jack Daniels? I get them mixed
Jack
up.
Daniels is
Tennessee.
in Tennessee.
Jack Daniels
and
is
it's not
Tennessee.
bourbon.
What's a famous brand from Kentucky?
It's either Jim
liquor.
Beam or
Jim Beam.
Well, almost all of them are from Kentucky.
one of the two.
Yeah.
All of them are from Kentucky.
Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey.
Is it? Yeah.
And Woodford Reserve did a commemorative bottle with Secretariat
Oh,
on it.
wow.
And we have some friends that
Came out a few
visited
weeks
that
ago.
visited that distillery recently.
I bought a
Woodford.
I bought a bottle of that for my brother, Brad, on your recommendation, Woodford Reserve, for his birthday.
I bet he enjoyed that.
I hope so.
The Boston Celtics last night defeated the 76ers 114-102. So now the road team has won 2 of the 3 games in this. Am I right, Brett? The road team has won 2 of the 3 so far in this series because Philly stole game 1 in Boston. And last night the Celtics win on the road 114-102. Later last night, 121-114, your Phoenix Suns try to climb back in the series. Denver still leads 2-1. The Denver Nuggets.
Well, it
lead
took
that
47 points from Devin Booker to do it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the way these games are won.
Right.
I mean, somebody steps
That's what
up
we've seen
and has a
throughout the
phenomenal,
playoff.
Jason Tatum just a few nights ago hardly showed up, right? But last night, 27 and 10. Embiid, exactly what you'd expect. 30 points, 13 boards, 4 block shots for the Sixers.
Yeah,
last
Tatum
night.
only scored 7, but it was the game that they won by 30 something.
It was. Yeah, explain that. I mean, how many points did they actually score in that?
121.
Yeah, and he scored 7.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing he is the leading scorer on the team for the season.
Steph Curry's 50 points in Game 7 against the
Yeah, that was a blowout, too.
Against
I am
Sacramento.
glad I did not tune into that.
yeah.
Who's going to win that series?
Hmm.
It's 1-1 right now.
You know about the Lakers and the
Lakers and the Warriors.
and the Warriors. That's hard to say.
Yeah, it is. But
I think the Lakers got what they wanted, right? You're a Lakers fan, Brad. They 1-1. You know.
Oh, yeah, you get one on the road to
You
start
leave
with.
San Fran 1-1.
Yeah.
And you can't be too unhappy with that.
But, I mean, you got to come home and win game 3 and 4.
Or you're right back where you
Yeah.
were.
Remember back where you were, yeah.
And I could see that happening here. I could see that.
Well, that's what they did against Memphis, but this is a much tougher task.
I think Golden State will win it. And I don't want them to.
Well, it's all about Anthony Davis, right, Brett? I mean, he was unbelievable in Game 1. What do you have, 30-some points, 20-some
So what was his performance like in Game 2?
I don't know.
Bad.
Bad.
Bad?
And that's been the thing.
11 points,
Yeah, there
7
you go.
rebounds.
Really? Did you know that in the Warriors win on Thursday, they scored 84 points in the second and third quarter combined?
Yeah.
They were in the
It was
40s
just-
in both,
Yeah.
41 and
40.
43.
Yeah, it was blowout city by halftime.
I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, that's a lot of points to put up.
They hit 21 threes.
Hit 21 threes that night.
Yeah, to the Lakers 10.
Yeah. That's racking them up.
And they out-rebounded the Lakers by 15. It seemed like after the Lakers got that Game 1 win they weren't intense in Game 2, and Golden State really was.
Yeah. Well, didn't the Warriors make a lineup change? Did they take Draymond Green out of the lineup?
Well, they were without Kevon Looney.
That's right.
He didn't start because he had a some kind of illness, sickness. He did play, but he didn't start. They went with the smaller lineup, and it actually worked out. They hit. I think that was one of the reasons they hit so many threes.
Yeah, because they drew Davis a little bit away from the basket. Maybe I can't think of that guy's name.
Yeah, JaMychal Green. He was the other starter.
Right.
But they actually hit 21 threes in both games so far.
Wow.
But they're just consistent. I mean, it'll be tough for the Lakers. Anthony Davis is going to have to play great for the Lakers to win. He's going to have to play 4 great games.
Yep. I think you're right.
Joey Brymer says good morning this
Joey
morning.
Brymer, LTN photographer.
You know, I'm still
Welcome
waiting on him to do his up-to-date version of Mike Powell imitations. I love it. Hadn't seen those in a while.
Yeah, I'd like to see those, Joey.
Yeah, we'll have to record those. He's good at it.
All right.
Did you guys see the stats for Jokic last night?
Well, yeah, I heard at one time when the game was going on.
30 points, 17 rebounds, and 17 assists.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is. It is. I mean, that is, the first two don't really, knock your socks off, 30 and the 7. But to add 17 assists along with 30, it seems like every pass he threw, the guy must have scored on.
You realize
one thing they do great is he touches the ball.
Right.
95% of their possessions
and he absolutely
when he's in the
needs
game.
to.
Yeah.
Who coaches that team? I don't know. I mean,
I can picture.
That's not a trivia question.
I can't remember the name. I have to.
Have the Nuggets won an NBA title?
I don't think so.
Did they win one
I
back?
think so. Yeah.
Didn't David Thompson spend a lot of his time
Michael Malone
in Denver?
He did spend some time
Michael Malone is the head coach.
Denver coach.
Do not know him.
there.
Do not know him. Don't know the name. Know Carl, but don't know Michael. Know Bugsy, but don't know Michael.
Bugsy.
I really don't know Bugsy.
Sam, Sam Malone.
I do know Sam Malone. Yeah. But he wouldn't be coaching in Denver. He would be coaching in Boston, right?
No championships. Never even been to one. No conference titles.
Okay. Denver's never won one. And been in the league. Does it say?
They were
in the 70s.
They were the Denver Rockets in the ABA from 67 to 74.
What in the world's Denver got to do with Rockets? I'm glad they gave that to Houston.
Yeah.
So they joined the NBA in 76. So
joined it in 76.
Almost 50 years.
And have never made the finals.
Right.
God,
that's one of the greatest droughts in history when you think about it.
And I wonder who if the owner's been in the same family. Usually you hear when there's transactions. I would have never remembered it, though.
It's like Stan Kroenke is the...
oh, really?
It says...
Owner of the Rams.
It says they're owned by Kroenke Sports and Entertainment.
That'd be right. That's the Rams, right? The one tied to the Rams. Built the new stadium in L.A. Let's see. I was trying to find out here real quick. The Knicks and the Heat.
He owns the Colorado Avalanche, Colorado Rapids of the MLS.
God, wonder what he's worth. His net worth. How many billions is that man?
Yeah. Arsenal Football Club.
My gosh.
In the English Premier League.
And I like to know his background too. What makes you start in that? And then, it's like he's addicted to owning teams.
Yeah.
I mean, he just keeps raking them in. And it may not just be him either. It may be, you said it's called Stan Kroenke.
Kroenke Sports and Entertainment.
See, that may be other people that are part owners of that as well. I would guess there are.
And his daughter, his wife, do you know his wife's background?
I'm afraid I don't.
She's the daughter of Walmart co-founder.
Oh, well,
James Walton.
That's who else is in
no,
there.
No wonder.
The money never ends.
No wonder he owns everything in
if that
the
is
West.
the money will not run out.
He's estimated to be worth $10.7 billion.
$10.7 billion.
Jeez.
And that's him. And that probably doesn't. That may not even include his wife.
Not even his wife.
Yeah.
Which would be probably in the same category.
Yeah.
Wow. I just wonder if he married her for money. Or vice versa. Oh, man. The Knicks and the Heat, that's today, guys. Game 2 of that series.
Game 3.
Game 3, I'm sorry. If it's 1-1, it's got to be Game 3, don't it?
Even I can get that.
There you go. Thank you. I botched it. I think the Heat and Jimmy Butler, who is a playoff machine, I think they're probably going to win this series. Although I would like to see it be the Knicks, because the Knicks need some relevance.
They do,
and you know, and New York needs something to happen. With
Spike Lee needs it too.
Yeah, he does. Also, the Warriors and the Lakers. The game. I'll get this one right, Mike. Game 3.
Right.
Also tonight. That one is in. Is it the Staples Center still, Brett? Is that the name of it?
No, it's.
Oh, really?
No, Crypto.com Arena. It's been that for
household name there.
About 2 years or a year. I think they changed it.
It still don't have Staples on the top whenever they show it from there. I thought I'd seen that recently that it had, or maybe there's another Staples Center in the United States that when they go to games, you know how they always show the top of the roof and it was always lit up in red. It said Staples, but maybe I dreamed that I'd seen it recently. I did not know that they had changed the sponsor on the.
You can always count on the stadium name changing.
Yeah, I'm wondering what it would cost to get your name on the. I still want to call it the Forum, in Los Angeles. What it would, I'm going to guess that's upward of $1 billion, close to $1 billion.
Now, one they haven't changed is the L.A. Coliseum, right? Where USC is that. Still the L.A. Coliseum?
Yeah, I don't think it has.
Nobody wants their name on
that. I don't think it has a sponsor.
On that crumbling relic, right?
I think it's still in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they've done
to
a lot
be as old as it is.
They've done a lot.
I think it's still in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
years old.
The logo on top of the Crypto Arena has it's a blue design and says crypto. Yeah, crypto.com.
That's kind of cryptic, isn't it? That's
really cryptic, actually.
Kind of odd. Crypto. Don't know that. Don't know that company at all. I mean, I guess that's what the reason is for putting that name on there, so you will know that company. Because you should see it many times.
Oh, the Forum does have a sponsor, the Kia Forum. I didn't know it had that name.
And they'll still call the Johns Park AT&T. I don't care what they say. What it is.
AT&T.
AT&T Field.
Yeah. So what did it go to?
It's something different. I can't think what it is at the moment.
All right, let's take a timeout. Time for us to take our first timeout. As we go to timeout, here's you a good music question.
Oh, yeah, I was waiting for
the day. What one-hit wonder? I'm going to say one-hit wonder performing, even though he had other hits in his writing.
Oh, just performing.
Yeah.
All right.
What one-hit wonder did J.J. Cale produce? We'll be back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Mark it down. Friday, May 26th, it's Milwaukee Tool Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. One day and one day only. Milwaukee Tool sales representatives will be on hand and offering free demonstrations and help answer any question you may have. Plus, right now, Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply has a big new shipment of pine needles. And don't forget about their rentals. Do it yourself. Rent it from Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply. 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
And welcome back. Okay, getting a lot of questions, a lot of inquiries here from Brett and Mike about J.J. Cale and his song, his one-hit, as a performer, his one-hit wonder. He wrote other hits, I'll tell you that right now. But Mike,
is he with a group?
He's one of yours. Don't think so. I never saw anything on here that says he's with the group. But it says that he's an Oklahoma guy. So I thought Mike might.
I should know that.
Yeah, born in 1938 in Oklahoma. So just a little hint there. But my hint was going to be, I was going to give you, since nobody had got J.J. Cale's big hit that he wrote and later became an even bigger hit, Roger has got it. Roger's got the computer out this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And got it. But he did answer. I was going to give you the title of the song has something to do with time.
Oh,
that may help you. That's a good hint, right?
Something to do with time.
Yep, and it's not Cat Stevens' "Morning Has Broken." It's but there you go. It's got.
I know. Ain't it funny how time slips away?
Evidently.
That ain't it.
That's not it. I don't know that one. That may be a line. Surely that's not.
Time is on my side. No, that's
right.
a Rolling
That's right.
Stone.
Okay. Yep. Time is on my side. It don't use the word time. It has something to do with time. Okay. But that name is not. That name is not in the title. Let's get the computer plugged up. I forgot. Bam! Just a boost of energy there, like I need to get my computer to light back up. We've been through the NBA a little bit and talking about the winners from last night, and of course today the 3:30 on ABC and 8:30 tonight on ABC. Have they had, now that we're in round 2? Has there been any 3-game days so far, or are they trying to just do 2?
I don't think so.
Seemed like on the weekend.
I don't think there's been 3 in one day.
Yeah, I know today there's just 2. Tomorrow there's just 2. Is that all we're down to? Is that what? Is that?
There's 4 series.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it then. The other being the Sixers and Celtics, Nuggets and Suns.
It's weird because
they usually try to load up the weekend though.
Phoenix and Denver played Monday.
Yeah.
And they didn't play again until Friday.
It's all about the television.
Yep.
The Lakers and Warriors played 2 games in between.
It's all about the TV and what it is.
And I kind of wondered
they're
if
trying to get it in line where they do have 2 each day. That's what I think. But on travel day, do they still play 2 days apart, or do they go to 3?
It varies.
Okay. It's all about the television. And you know what? It's understandable, too, because, I mean.
Let's see, Miami and New York played.
I don't want a 3-game day unless it's raining.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's it.
Miami and New York got 3 days off.
They did.
In between travel. The Lakers and Warriors.
Well, that's not far.
1 day off.
Yeah. San Francisco to L.A., how long is that flight? Hour and a half?
Probably.
And how long what's the other one you said?
Miami to New York, 3 hours.
Yeah, at the most. It's still not bad.
Yeah, it's just the TV stuff, like you said.
But it always, I mean, even though your flight may be that long, it's still a 5-hour event when you fly.
Yeah.
If you fly an hour and a half, it's going to take 5 hours to do it.
I hate it.
By the time you do everything,
drive.
by the time you do everything that's involved, it's going to take you a lot longer. Unless they have chartered jets, and then it's walk out on the ramp, get in, and go. You don't have to wait on anything. The 16-6 Chicago Cubs beat the Marlins last night 4-1. It was the Blue Jays over the Pirates.
16-16.
Is that what I said?
You said 16-6.
Oh,
I thought they played more games than that.
16-16. My bad.
Yep.
An even 500 on the Cubs. The Blue Jays knock off the Pirates last night, a shutout in Pittsburgh, 4-0. Toronto wins that one. It was the White Sox 5-4 over the Reds. The Tampa Bay Rays 5-4 over the Yankees.
27-6, unbelievable.
Yeah, and check out the Yankees record. I mean, it's
barely above water.
They're right on the 500 line, but they're in 5th place in a 5-team division.
Yeah,
that everybody in there is 500 or above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boston
10 games out of first. That's
but that's because Tampa has been on fire.
Those boys are on fire.
I knew I was coming. Set you up. Yeah.
You knew it.
The Red Sox won their, get this, Mike, 7th in a row last night.
Yeah,
they beat the Phillies. They swept Toronto, which shocked me. They swept Toronto midweek or during the first part of the week, and then last night they win in Philadelphia 5-3. The Mets beat the Rockies. The Mets don't want any more of the Tigers. I think Detroit either swept them or won 2 out. I know Detroit swept a doubleheader, but due to a rainout. Detroit beat them a couple days ago in a doubleheader.
Yeah, they beat them.
All three?
All 3.
Yeah. And in New York, right?
No, in
Detroit. In Detroit. The Tigers will take it no matter where it's at. But the Mets win last night 1-0 over the Rockies. The Guardians fall to the Twins 2-0. Orioles over the Braves last night, 9-4. I heard an interesting stat last night on the Orioles. They're 22-10. They've won every series opener so far. They've won every series opener so far in this season, and that's been what now at this point? 10, maybe.
Yep.
10 or more, because 33 games in the books. It might be number 11. But I thought that's pretty. It gives you great odds at winning the little 3-game series, when you go in there and take game 1 every time. The A's beat the Royals last night 12-8.
I'd like to know what the paid attendance was
in Kansas City. I swear I was looking at this game at one time, and the Royals were way ahead.
Yeah.
That might have been the night before, but I thought they were way ahead. And either way, the A's win it last night, 12-8. 17 hits in that one. Is Brett looking up the
16,000?
16,000. That's not bad.
No,
that's not bad.
If it was in Oakland,
it would have been 6 or less.
Yeah.
They had a day game earlier this week.
It doesn't
and
matter.
I saw a picture of the crowd, and I mean the paid attendance might have been a good bit more, but it looked like there were 1,000 people there.
Wow.
So
the city has completely abandoned them.
Well, if they've already announced they're moving.
Yeah, sure. They're
going to Vegas.
They're
I don't think they had much more than that last year.
Right.
And so
they
got to do it. They got to move. I just wish it was Charlotte and not Vegas.
Wednesday, paid attendance in Oakland, 2,600.
Is that right?
Wow. Never heard of anything that low.
2,600. I was just trying to think of the last event I went to that would have had that amount. I would say there was that many at or more, wouldn't you? You didn't. Neither one of you guys went to the Charlotte hosting East Carolina baseball game.
Oh,
I'd say there's at least.
Yeah,
that
well, I
many
was
there.
thinking about the high school football
high
championship
school
games.
football.
There might have been 2,600.
Yeah, probably more. The basketball, would have been more than that if the gym would have held them.
Yeah. That was the problem with the regionals too.
That's right.
Yeah, especially that North.
It was the regionals. Period. The state didn't have that problem.
Oh, that's right.
Because it was in Chapel Hill and
that
Raleigh.
North Mac and Myers Park would have easily had. I mean, they would have had several thousand if they would have played in a big enough gym.
Missing out on money. Don't get it. Last night, it was the Cardinals that were the victim of the Tigers. Detroit last night has moved to 14-17 on the season.
Yeah,
I think that's 4 wins in a
What
row.
about the Cardinals?
The Cardinals have fell all apart.
10-23.
Hey, they're getting booed in Busch Stadium. They are getting booed just about every game right now. Only 10 wins for the Cardinals
with
in 33 chances. Yeah.
The Dodgers swept them.
I can't imagine the
last
manager.
weekend.
I don't know who the manager is there. But, they got rid of the guy from Charlotte. They let him go. What was his name? I know he coached Legion for Post 262 and Gerald Young. And I can't think of his name right now.
Who is one of the
Charlotte
inductees
guy. That's
tonight
right.
in the
Hall
of Fame.
If I don't make it, you please tell him I said hello. But I
assume you want me to write something about that. Yeah.
You already told me you would.
Yeah.
The current manager, Oliver Marmol.
That's current. That means maybe not after Sunday.
Yeah.
Oliver Marmol?
Marmol. M-A-R-M-O-L.
The one before him, though, was – why can't I think of that guy's name? It's a different name, too. It's not it's not your Smith, Jones, Williams, anything like that. But a Charlotte native was the former Cardinal coach, and I thought doing a pretty good job with that team. But but I can promise you, in St. Louis, 10-23 is not going to cut it, and they're only 5-12 at home.
Yeah, that's awful.
5-12 on the home field there. Of course, we wish our local athlete Alec Burleson all the best.
We do,
as he is playing for the Cardinals in St. Louis.
Let's see what he did in that game. Let me check the box score.
While you do, I'll give a few more. The Angels beat the Rangers 5-4. The Diamondbacks over the Nationals 4-1. The Padres beat the Dodgers last night 5-2. Your world champions back-to-back, Houston Astros. You believe in that or not? That's a I'm looking into the future because they didn't win it 2 years ago. They won it last year. Back-to-back champ Astros. They're only 17 and 15. I don't know why I would say that they're going to be your World Series champion. But nobody's really – if it's not Tampa, who would you pick? You know? And I don't think a lot of people would pick Tampa. Astros win 6-4 over the Mariners.
I told you when it started.
Don't see Cal Raleigh's name anywhere.
Tampa and Atlanta.
You did say Tampa and Atlanta. And the Giants beat the Brewers 6-4 last night. Mike Powell happy this morning.
Well, we're up to 14 and 17.
That's much better than it was 2 weeks ago.
Sort of climbing toward 500 maybe.
Yep. Brett, what I have you looking up?
The Cardinals.
Yeah, the manager.
Mike Schilt.
Schilt. That's it. Schilt.
Okay.
Schilt. Mike Schilt. And as it turned out, ownership didn't give a Schilt. They let him go. Right.
He is with the Padres now.
Very well thought of, I thought, within the Cardinal organization and within baseball, the baseball community itself. And then all of a sudden he's up and fired in the offseason. What did they go last year? Any idea what they went last year? Because he was fired, if I'm not mistaken, was he not fired in the offseason?
It was the year before.
Was it the year before?
Yeah. He managed the Cardinals from 18 to 21.
Okay. And what was his year? Do you know his record in 21? Because maybe I'm way off base.
Let's see. 90 and 72.
Woo! And you fire the guy. 90. Do you think they're going 90 and 72 this year? There's no way.
He took over in 2018 mid-season. Was 41 and 28, then 91 and 71. And then in 2020, the COVID shortened season, he was 30 and 28. And then 90 and 72. So over 500.
Yeah.
All four. I mean, 2 full years and 2.
I don't get it. I don't know. What did they see there they didn't like?
I know.
He won 56% of his games. Just 4 and 9 in the postseason, but
I'm just not sure you get rid of a guy that wins 92.
I agree.
92 baseball games unless there's something going on that, maybe the players requested it or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it might have been. Can you think of any key players that are gone from the teams that won, Brett, 92? They won 92 there, and now they're not even with the team anymore. I mean, obviously Pujols and Molina.
Yeah.
Well, Pujols.
But they were there last year. And they weren't producing.
Yeah, Pujols wasn't
Molina's
even there
a great catcher, but he's only going to hit,
when Mike Schilt was
200 if he has a good season. Pujols, in his prime would hit you 45 home runs and hit pretty good for average.
They brought in Nolan Arenado last year.
When you watch them on TV, it looks like they're talented.
Yeah.
I really can't figure out what it is. I mean, you have to have pitching staff to win in the major leagues. You got to have a solid pitching staff, a solid bullpen. So I really don't know what it is. They give up 163 runs. That seems a little on the high end, which is nothing like 252 for Oakland. But
Don Revel says Mike Schilt played at UNC Asheville.
Okay. Went to high school in Charlotte, I think. Maybe Olympic or somewhere down that way.
Yeah, I think he is from Charlotte.
Yeah. And then, like I said, he coached post 262 in the American Legion for a season or two. So, which means he is qualified. Is that right, Mike? Coach Legion ball, you coach anything.
Yeah. If you can get through that.
27-6, the Tampa Rays, 18-2 at home, 9-4 on the road, outscored their opponents by 115 this early in the season. Brett, do the math on this. At 27-6, what is their projected record if they stayed with that pace the rest of the way? That's 33 games.
120 wins.
So you can just basically multiply it by 6 and be close.
Yeah.
No, not by 6.
By 5?
By 5. Yeah, 135 wins.
Yeah, which would bust a record all to pieces. I mean, it would bust.
Bust it all to pieces.
Yeah.
They can't keep that up.
Is it 118 or 120 that the Seattle won and did not win the World Series that year.
No.
Hadn't won it yet, but did not win it that year. The Yankees eliminated them in the playoffs. So
they're actually on pace for 132 wins.
And thank you, Lynn. Lenny had said, I think his last name was Schilt. And he said Marmol coached last year during the Albert Pujols run. So he's not getting it done. I don't know what they wound up last year, but this year they are the record makes it look like they're tanking. I mean, 10 wins. Only Oakland and Kansas City have less.
Yeah,
8 and 7.
Yeah, they went 93 and 69, won their division last year.
93 and 69.
I lost in the wild card to the Phillies.
Boy, that's a big change, and I don't know what it is. What you can attribute that to?
Maybe
at this point,
Molina was that important.
You never know. I mean, catchers that back there calling the game, they and now maybe it's not the same. I don't even know who their catcher is now, but not McCarver, and it's not. What was the one they had during their run? They had a really good guy, catcher that he just seemed like he wasn't he was not a superstar, but he just was always clutch. It seemed like, and I'm talking about maybe around 2000, something like that, the year 2000. But maybe Lenny would know who that catcher was that slips my mind, or Roger that slips my mind.
Mike Matheny was their catcher for a while, who later managed.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the one I'm trying to think of. I don't think it's Matheny. Yeah, and that's another one. I mean, I thought I liked him as a manager.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe the numbers weren't there, but I liked him as a manager. Tampa is the best record in baseball. They lead the Orioles by 4.5. Baltimore hanging right in there. Boston now has moved up to third. They're 7.5 back. Then Toronto 8 back, and the Yankees 10 games back. The Twins, this is the division where everybody is over 500, though, the American League East. I mean, the Yankees are in last place, but they're 17 and 16. So if Tampa has any kind of drought at all, somebody's going to catch them. I mean, everybody's just playing really good baseball in that division at this point, as far as overall. Now, I will tell you this. Toronto's lost 5 of the last 10. The Yankees have lost 6 of the last 10. I don't expect either one of them for that to be something that's normal. They both got too good of teams to not win at least 6 out of 10 from here on out. The Twins lead the Central, 19 and 14, followed by the second place Detroit Tigers. How about that? Only 4 games out, even though they're 3 below 500. Cleveland, Chicago White Sox, and Kansas City Royals. The Texas Rangers lead the West at 18 and 13, followed by the Angels, Astros, Mariners, and Athletics. Is Texas a team that we should be thinking about that could be a World Series team come October?
Too early to say.
That's a good division, too, although their records may not show it.
The first 4. The top 4 could all
the top 4 could win the division.
I still think Houston and Seattle are the best too, but even though they're in 3rd and 4th right now, I don't know about
I
Texas.
could see Houston being better than Texas. I'm not sure Seattle's better than Texas with all those pieces they've added, but maybe I'm wrong. The National League, status quo, the Braves are winning 2 out of every 3. That's pretty good, 22 and 11 at this point. Followed by the Mets. The Mets are 5 back, Marlins 6, Phillies 7, Nationals 8.5. In the Central, even though the Pirates have hit a slump here, they've only won 4 out of 10. They are still in first place with a record of 20 and 13.
Them and Milwaukee have both lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, Milwaukee, 7 out of 10 they've lost, and both of them are on 5. But how about that? That means the Pirates were 20 and 8.
Yeah.
And nobody saw that start coming, I don't think. But so they started the season 20 and 8, and their losses, Brett, most recently have been to Tampa, who's not losing to anybody.
Pittsburgh scored 4 runs in those 3 games against Tampa.
4 runs in 3 games. Wow. How many were 2 of them shutouts or just 1? I remember one of them was 4-0. Or does it say? Not that matters.
Yeah, already off of it.
All right. Pirates 20-13 lead Milwaukee by just a game and a half. The Cubs by 3.5. The Reds by 6.5, and the Cardinals by 10. I just did not expect to see the Cardinals that far out in early April.
Well, they've lost 9 of their last 10, right?
Yep, they are really, really struggling right now. And I'm telling you, that you can really say it in St. Louis, Mike. The Boo Birds are out.
Birds.
You know, the Boo Birds are out for sure. Dodgers 19-14. Hadn't actually exactly been setting the woods on fire, but they're getting a little hot now. They've won 7 out of 10. Run differential plus 39. I'm still going to say, Brett, that the Dodgers win this division. You like the Padres.
Well, the Padres just have a better roster.
But they do. But I just think the Dodgers will come through and find a way.
And they're playing each other
to win the division
right now for the first time this year.
Dodgers on top by just a half a game, but not over the Padres. Only a half a game over the D-backs. Mm-hmm. Then come the Padres 1 game back, the Giants 4 back, and Colorado 7 back. And Mike, as a Giants fan, they're leaving the door wide open for you and your Giants, because to be 14-17 but only 4 games out of first is a blessing.
Yeah, I can't complain too much.
And the Giants just beat the Astros 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and that's the kind of, obviously you got to win the ones in your division, but they don't play the division near as much this year as we've seen in the past. It's been being 19 games, because I told you that Toronto last year went 16-3 against Boston. 16-3. And then Boston sweeps them the first meeting this year, 4-game series. So already got more wins against them than it had last year. And
what do they drop it down to 13? 13.
That's what I was going to ask. I don't know. Is that what it is?
I think it's 13.
Okay.
So,
as fans,
which that's 24 less games against your division.
Do you like it better that you're playing? Because isn't everybody playing everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, even in each league, you're playing if you're a National League team, you're playing all the American League teams.
I think so.
Now, you might not play them at home and home, but you'll get them at home next year if you go away this year. You like that, Mike, or not? That the fact that they've evened it out and not playing all those division games. Every time I turned on TV last year, the Red Sox playing the Yankees. 19 seems to be a lot.
I'm looking at the Giants' schedule right now, and I see in June they play at Detroit 1 game on a Monday.
Is it a makeup?
They play 3 in Washington, 1 in Detroit, and then go home and play the A's twice.
They have to have 1 night only.
Yeah.
The Giants in Detroit.
Yep, that's what it's got. I can't imagine you would play somebody just once all season.
You sure they hadn't already played, and maybe that was a rain out makeup game? Because that's the only way I could see that happening either. Lenny says they talking about the Cardinals, signed Wilson Contreras this year, who's a pretty well-known catcher, right, Brett? I mean, this is the one that's the catcher, right? There's 2 Contreras' brothers.
They're both catchers. That's the lesser known.
Is it? Okay. He's not the one that looks like he's mad all the time? Because one of them looked like he's mad all the time. Played for the Braves last year, didn't he? Or is that
that's that one?
That's this one?
Yeah.
He looked like he was mad too. Then.
I think. now I'm not
I don't
sure.
know the other one's name.
It starts with the W.
Wendy?
William.
Okay.
William is the one that played for the Braves.
Okay.
So Wilson is the better known one. He played for the Cubs when they won their World Series.
And you said both are catchers.
Yeah.
Okay. Only the Rangers, this is coming from Lenny, only the Rangers, Angels, Twins, and Astros have better winning percentage than the last place Yankees. So what he's saying is the Yankees haven't been playing that bad. They're just in a great division that they're in last place. But the Rangers, the Angels, the Twins, and the Twins, aren't they in first place?
Yeah.
So you got a first-place team in the American League with a worse winning percentage than a last-place team. So this is not going to stay this way, obviously, but if it did end today, should the Twins be in the playoffs, or should it be those teams with better records?
Oh, wait, the Twins are 19 and 14?
Mm-hmm.
Now, who was the last place team that's better than that?
Well,
there's not.
Yeah.
Yankees are just one game.
Well, that's
over
what I meant.
500.
I was trying to find one that is. Well, the Dodgers have the worst record of a leader.
Yeah, them and the Twins are both 19 and 14.
Yeah. So well, you have to let them in there better.
Then in Texas is 18 and 13, so they just played 2 less
Is
games.
it possible that a fifth-place team would finish with a better record at the end of the season than a division winner?
It's mathematically possible, but I doubt it'll happen.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say. In
One of the teams in the American League East is going to cool off and have a right around 500. Right. Well, the Yankees have right around 500 right now, but I don't know if it'll be them. But one of them will probably finish under 500.
Yep, Lenny sends what you said just a minute ago. This one played for the Cubs.
They both changed teams.
Don Revel's trying to guess my Cardinal catcher that I was thinking of, and he says Ted Simmons. It was after Ted. It was after Ted. Yeah. And Ted. I may have the time period wrong. This guy, it seemed like it might have been Darryl something. If you saw him on the street, you'd never guess he played baseball.
Oh, I remember Darryl Kyle, the Cardinal pitcher.
I did too. His initials were DK, and they had him up in the stadium, all because he passed away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take our time out. Another time out here. We appreciate you tuning in. When we come back, I'm going to give you the answer to that trivia question.
Oh, yeah, gotta have that one.
What's his name again?
J.J. Cale.
Thank you, J.J. Cale.
J.J. what?
Give you a little some information on him as well when we come back. Thanks for tuning in.
J.J. Cale.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Mark it down. Friday, May 26th, it's Milwaukee Tool Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. One day and one day only. Milwaukee Tool sales representatives will be on hand and offering free demonstrations and help answer any question you may have. Plus, right now, Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply has a big new shipment of pine needles. And don't forget about their rentals. Do it yourself. Rent it from Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply. 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other: fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
Thank you, Lenny. I give Lenny a shout out. He come up with my catcher for the Cardinals I was trying to think of there for quite some time. If you saw the guy, Lenny, did he not have the Clark Kent look? But he was Superman behind the plate.
Okay, good analogy.
But that's kind of the way it was. You guys may not even remember this guy. But he was on. I know he was on with them on at least one World Championship team. His name is Darrell Porter.
Oh, Darrell Porter.
Darrell Porter.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember him.
Yep. That. Look him up and see if I've got. Make sure I hadn't got him confused. Look at it. Look at one of his photos and see if he's not. Just. I don't know what you're supposed to look like. If every time I think about what you're supposed to look like, if you're going to play a certain sport, all I can ever think of is Bobby Knight putting on his game face.
Yeah.
You guys remember when Bobby Knight put on it, said his game face, and he made all those weird faces? He was making fun of the term game face.
Face, yeah.
It's like, I'm sure Bobby Knight thought you should have that on 24 hours a day.
That was the kind of humor that Knight had.
He wanted you to be ready to play 24 hours a day. You shouldn't have to change your facial expression. Don Revels, do you remember Darrell Porter? Because that's the one I'm trying to it says
he died in 2002.
Oh, did he really? I may remember that. Age 50.
He was with the Cardinals 81 to 85.
Okay. Now, that's a little farther back than I thought.
Yeah.
I told you, man, I can't keep the years straight anymore. Obviously, I can't think of the players' names either. But I did have Darrell out of it, though. I did finally get Darrell because Brett said that made him think of Darryl Kyle. But Darrell Evans, another great Darrell in baseball history. Strawberry wasn't too bad.
Not a bad one. That's the one I think of, Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah. Ended with Darrell and my other brother Darrell.
Yeah, Darryl.
Or you can go to football and go with La Monica.
Yeah.
Darryl Green.
Darryl Green,
great.
So it's the morning of the Darrells.
Darrell Armstrong from Gastonia.
That's right.
Played for Orlando Magic, maybe a couple other NBA.
Here he's Don Revel sends me a picture of Darrell Porter in his Kansas City uniform. I put that on the camera. Now, am I right about the Clark Kent look?
It looks like Clark Kent.
I mean, look here, Lanny.
Yeah.
He's got the
glasses.
Oh, well, in this
picture
with the Cardinals, he looks even more like him because his hair's shorter.
Wow. Superman behind the plate.
That's right.
Yeah. Probably never called that, but that would be
He looks like the hockey player.
Lanny and Richard Howe at the same time answered the same thing. Do not forget Larry, Darrell, and Darrell.
Larry, Darrell, and Darrell.
He was a World Series MVP in 1982.
World Series MVP in 82 with the Cards, right?
Wow.
He was also NLCS MVP that year.
And you said he passed away at age 50.
Yeah, he must have had an illness.
And did it say?
Drugs.
Well, drugs.
Really?
Yep.
God, it says that?
Yep.
How sad. That is bad. That is bad.
Porter died from accidental drug toxicity in 2002. It says he struggled but was never able to overcome a substance abuse problem.
Oh. He goes from the heights of being a World
And that was
Series
even when, it looks like it was even when he was playing. He struggled with that.
Lenny said he had those horn-rimmed glasses and played with them on. And we just saw that picture of that Don sent in. And he said, Lenny says, I think he followed the White Rat to St. Louis. You know who he's referring to as the White Rat? Manager for the Cardinals there for quite some time. Mike? Brett Mike would get it, but you should get it.
White Rat.
LaRussa?
Whitey.
Oh.
Whitey.
Herzog.
Oh, Herzog.
Whitey Herzog.
Of course.
And Whitey Bulger.
Yeah, Whitey Bulger.
He manages a different
different sport. Different sport. Different club.
Yep. He's suspended as well, by the way.
Permanently.
And somebody sent me something here.
Whitey Herzog.
Which one of you guys sent me something earlier on Baffert? Was that Lenny that sent me something? You remember we were talking about his suspension?
Yeah.
Here it is. Lenny said, I just read that Baffert is eligible for the Preakness and the Belmont Stakes this year.
Okay, just not the Derby.
So he'll be back on the scene this year. He was banned from the Derby for 2 years.
Okay.
Banned from the Derby for 2 years. So evidently not the same set of guidelines.
Mm-hmm. The other two need the publicity.
Yeah. Oh, they do. They do. And I always like Baffert's look. I mean, he's just out there just. I don't know how to describe it, but he just looks like he's having a good time.
Yeah.
He's always dressed in a nice suit and everything, white hair shining. Well,
he's always winning.
Yeah, well, maybe
he's always dressed,
bringing in a lot of money.
He's always dressed.
He's always carrying this great big duffel bag. It's empty, and I'm guessing it's for when the race.
He's usually wearing a white suit or a pink suit. I mean, his fashion statement is quite flamboyant.
It is. It is.
Which race has the best theme song? I get My Old Kentucky Home, I guess.
I didn't know they had theme songs.
Well, doesn't
they do play My Old Kentucky Home? And
doesn't the Belmont Stakes, don't they do New York?
I don't know.
I think they do.
I don't know.
I don't know about the Preakness.
That should be after.
No, it's before.
Start spreading the news.
Start spreading the news.
Well, I only watch the Belmont if a horse is going for the Triple Crown.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's right. Which isn't that often. But.
That's why the most important race out of the three
is the second.
Is the Preakness.
Yeah.
It's the Preakness. I mean, because no matter who wins today.
And if for some reason the horse that wins today doesn't run in the Preakness,
it's not important at all.
Well, I guess people do watch
and that has happened before.
Yeah.
But the very casual fans
that second race is the most, I promise you this, for the people that own or run the Belmont race, that second race is the most important to them because they don't care who wins the first one, but they want it to win the second one too. So all eyes will be on Belmont.
Haven't we had instances where they had a Derby winner, but their Derby winner didn't run the Preakness for some reason?
Yeah,
I mean, I know we've had.
There's a Preakness in Baltimore.
A lot of times it's injury and stuff like that.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep. Baltimore's a whole lot bigger sports town than we give it credit for.
Yeah.
It's also a little on the rough side.
Oh yeah,
but it's it is a pretty big sports town that I don't know when is the last time.
Does anybody remember the Baltimore Bullets?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The Wizards now.
Yep.
The Washington Wizards. I'm trying to think. The Ravens they beat the 49ers most recent. They've won 2 Super Bowls since being in Baltimore. They beat the Giants one time, and they beat the 49ers one time the day the lights went out, in the stadium. But how long has it been for the Orioles?
Oh, boy.
I mean, do you have to go back to Cal Ripken's team?
My man, Boog Powell.
I think Cal Ripken's team won.
Did he? Okay.
I think they won one. And maybe 83?
I was going to say it had to be
check that out
early because
it seems like it was around 83.
I was going to say not in my lifetime.
No, it could be.
That wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
If they won in 83.
A couple
you were
weeks
born,
before.
83?
83.
83, yeah.
But, all right. J.J. Cale.
I feel like I need another hint of some kind.
Give me another hint. Give me something.
Okay. Yes.
Give them the artist that recorded the cover.
It was a bigger hit. Can you give me that?
Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Did you?
I'm not
Yeah.
playing.
Well, I was going to give him. I gave him a hint that it had something to do with time.
Yeah, Baltimore won it in '83. Is their last one.
Okay.
And I hit that on the head.
Right on
66,
the head.
70, and 83.
The year I remember well.
Okay.
They beat the
I
Phillies.
was going to tell you this. It not only has something to do with time, but it's telling you what he's going to do when this certain time passes.
Great hint.
Not only is it talks about time,
Yep.
and it also talks about what he's going
To do when the clock reaches this time, and we were beyond that point. He's telling you what he's going to do. As a matter of fact,
After midnight.
yes,
Eric
Good
Clapton.
job.
Eric Clapton was the.
I was thinking
follow-up.
of midnight, but I couldn't quite come up with it. After midnight. That's right.
Eric Clapton would be the other.
He had a
so
big hit
J.J.
with that.
Kell Roger is the winner today, getting that music
After
trivia.
midnight.
J.J.
Don't
Kell.
let my
Now, what famous Leonard Skinner song did he write?
who? JJ?
Yeah, he did. He
Mr. Saturday Night
No,
Special.
no.
Give
Has
me
so-
2 steps.
You want a hint on this one too? Has something to do with weather condition. Is that a good one, Lanny? Have you looked at that too? Has something to do with the weather condition, but just a light weather
Not one of their most famous
condition.
classics.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Curtis Lowe or any of those, but
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Called Me the Breeze.
There you go.
Ah,
They Call Me the Breeze. He
he's
wrote
on
that.
it today.
He is.
Ooh.
He is.
Call me the breeze.
Yeah, that I think that part
Yeah,
about
that's
that
one of my
light
favorite.
weather.
One of my favorite Leonard Skinner
Is it?
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, it says here that he wrote that one as well.
I
Born
like
in-
working for MCA. You
Born
got any
in,
songs like that one?
Oh, I'm a Curtis Lowe / Simple Man.
Simple Man.
Those
yeah.
two are a lot
My
alike,
favorite's
and that's-
Freebird.
Those two are my favorites. And then Tuesday's Gone kind of falls into that.
Yeah,
Has the same
Tuesday's
sound as those. But yeah, go ahead and give us your favorite.
With the Wind. That's another.
That's a
we
good
gotta-
one.
Your favorite Leonard
Which that's not in the
Skinner
title, but-
song. I mean, one thing
Does
about
nobody likes Saturday Night Special?
well,
That's
nobody's
my
gonna.
favorite.
Nobody. Okay, Mike, they've got so many.
Well, okay.
Saturday's Night Special would be down the list for
Yeah,
me.
right.
I mean, I don't know anybody that don't like Sweet Home Alabama. Now, you may claim it's not your favorite, but at some point in time, I would bet that would have been people's favorite.
What's that one? Smell that smell.
Ooh, that smell.
Ooh, that smell.
Or it's
Yeah,
just called
just
that,
That
smell.
Smell,
That smell.
yeah.
Smell of death.
That's a good one. That's morbid, but it's a good one.
Give Me 3 Steps. It's good.
That's a good
That would probably be my favorite fast one. You know, because I like the Simple Man and Curtis
Yeah,
Lowe.
Simple Man's
But I do
one
like
of my top. But
I do
I've,
like Give
I've
Me
just
3
always
Steps.
liked Freebird's always been
And
my favorite.
the
That's-
words to 3 Steps.
And I love
is
the.
awesome.
I've always liked the 8-minute songs or 10-minute songs.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got it in Freebird.
The songs you can drive from here.
And it's like
here to the beach, listening to that one
like
song.
Neil Young's got some good ones.
Oh yeah.
Down by the river. I love that song.
Down by the rivers.
Or Like a Hurricane. It's about 8 minutes.
Yep.
Oh man, that's probably my favorite.
Oh man, take a look at that's a
Yeah,
good one.
that's probably my favorite Neil Young.
How about
how many
Southern-
bands?
How about Southern
now we
Man?
just went with the rival to Leonard Skinner.
Yeah,
Neil
they-
Young.
they
yeah,
wrote-
yeah.
They wrote.
We don't need him around anyhow.
They wrote "Sweet Home Alabama" in
I'll take Neil
response
Young.
to Southern Man.
I do really like Leonard Skinner, but I'll take Neil Young's music
Would you?
any day over Leonard Skinner.
Well, especially the lyrics. I guess
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he was good. How many bands? I was going to ask you guys because you'd know how many bands Neil Young was in.
Well, he started out in Buffalo Springfield.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. And then, who was the band he always played with? Crazy Horse.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sounds
that
right.
that was like
Those are three right there.
His
and
band.
I don't know. Yeah, it was his own band. Yeah, there may be more, but
Hey, how about these names from the 83 World Series?
Well, let me. Whoa! Let me see how many. Let me see
Hall
how
of
many.
Famers.
Let me see how many we can name. Cal Ripken
There's 7 Hall of Famers.
in that World Series.
Yeah.
Did he beat the Phillies?
Yeah.
Okay, 7 Hall of Famers, Mike. We got to come close to this. Help us, Lenny.
And the
7 Hall
MVP of
Famers
that
in
series
in that
wasn't
World
one
Series.
of them.
Trying to think of 83.
Well, Cal Ripken's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Eddie Murray
Eddie Murray.
is in the Hall of Fame. So there's 2 right there, though. 2 Orioles right there.
There's one more Oriole.
Is there one more Oriole?
Yeah, you should get it. I mean, he was great.
Was he a pitcher?
Yep.
83.
Dirty Tim Stoddard. No, I'm just kidding.
Palmer still pitching at that time? Okay.
That's it.
So Jim
Okay.
Palmer.
Okay.
And so the other 4 are Phillies.
Yep.
4 Phillies in the Hall of Fame. Did McCarver catch for the Phillies at that time? Seemed like he was with the Phillies
I
for a
think he
while.
was, yeah.
But so no, Brett says no to that.
Yeah.
No. And I'll tell you one.
Gary
Smith.
Maddox.
Mike Smith.
One pitcher.
Mike Smith's in.
one of them.
Mike
Yep.
Smith's in. So there's one pitcher, Carlton.
Yep.
Steve Carlton.
Steve Carlton. That's what I was
All right,
thinking.
so we only like 2 more players, right? 2 more.
And one of them I did not know played for the Phillies.
Pete Rose.
Nope.
Well,
But
Pete's
that-
not in the Hall of Fame.
But yeah, but that's close.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, is it? Same team? Was he a Red? He was?
Oh.
So, okay, who played? George Foster? Players move around
He
and
only
you
played
forget.
he only played there 1 year,
What position?
and it was the year they won it.
What position did he play?
I think he was second.
And
Yeah.
he came from the who we
He did-
who we say he was with before he came to the Phillies?
Well, he didn't go straight from Cincinnati to Philly.
okay.
I mean, that gives
Okay.
it away. He's
Oh, yeah, of course. Joe
yeah,
Morgan.
Morgan.
yeah.
I don't remember that either.
He played for
I'll
the
be honest with
Astros and Giants in between.
Oh, really? I didn't know he played for the Giants.
He
81
says,
and 82.
Lenny says the other one may be Perez.
Yeah, Tony Perez.
Tony Perez, another Red. Another
Yeah,
former
yeah,
Red.
he was.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that either. So, actually, the Philadelphia Reds were runner-up in that
He was
World Series, as it turns out.
41
He was 41 when he was playing then.
in that World Series.
41. Playing first base, I'm guessing.
And then
That's
the
interesting right
MVP of that series.
7 Hall of Famers in that World Series.
That's amazing.
It is. Yeah, because the Baseball Hall of Fame is kind of hard to get into.
The MVP
Very.
of that series was the Orioles catcher, not a Hall of Famer.
The MVP of the World Series in '83 was the Orioles catcher.
What was his name?
What was his initials?
RD.
RD.
Rick. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, Rick. Dempsey.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, Rick Dempsey.
Yep. I remember that. I remember him winning MVP now that you said it. I remember Rick Dempsey winning the
How many games did that series go?
5.
5.
It ended October 16th, so 1 month before I was born.
So that's the last Orioles baseball championship, 1983. That's what got us started on this.
Yeah.
Was the last time Baltimore being a good sports
And they haven't
city.
been to the World Series since then. I mean, I don't even think they've
Sniffed it.
yeah.
They made the playoffs.
Did
in
they
one
make the
year.
ALCS when
When
they
you got
had
Rick Dempsey?
was it Brady Anderson and Cal
Brady
Ripken's
Anderson was on the cover of
late
Sports
days.
Illustrated one year when they were 0-21. Do you guys remember the 0-21? I don't know if Brett would be old enough to remember that, but they started the season 0-21. I think I still have that Sports Illustrated with.
Yeah, they made the ALCS in '97, and Cleveland beat them.
In '97 in the LCS.
Yeah,
I did not remember that. So then Cleveland went on to lose to the Braves. No, that was
'97.
That was '96, wasn't it? All running together now. All
Yeah, who
running
did beat Cleveland in '97? The Marlins.
Well, what better time, since we're talking a lot of baseball stuff right now, than to bring this up? All the rule changes this year, I think, have been phenomenal. I think everything, I haven't seen anybody really get upset over anything that's been called or anything like that. I'm still waiting on that electronic strike zone, which I'd love to see, just so it'd be more consistent. If they get it, like I said, and we've talked about this before, if they get it perfected, I don't want it to see it come in there and it be calling pitches way out of the zone that shouldn't be called strikes or whatever. But sent Brett a video last night, and the shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays name is something Franco. Is that right, Brett? What is it?
Is it Wander?
I wonder. Franco.
Wonder.
I think that's it. Wander. Yeah, Wander.
In a game
Franco.
this week, and they were playing against, I can't remember who they were playing against, but earlier in the week, have you seen the video, Mike?
I have not.
You don't know where I'm going.
Nope.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Makes a nice, clean play. Tosses the ball up in the air. Spins it a little bit. Catches it. Throws to first. And gets the out. Bad or good?
Is that show-off material?
I'm asking you. Is it any worse than the bat flip when a batter hits a home run?
I don't think it's worse than the bat flip.
I don't either.
Because I don't think you're showing up the hitter.
No,
But there are some that would think that you're showing up the pitcher when you flip the bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's some that would think you're showing up that guy running to first, running his tail off, that you've got time to sit there and smoke a cigarette and then throw him out.
Right.
Well, you're only going to do that when the ball's hit pretty hard, you know?
Yeah. And what would you do as a manager?
I would not want my players doing that.
If he don't catch it cleanly, he drops it and hits the ground and the guy's safe.
I'd have to bench him for a game or two.
He'll probably never do it again.
No.
When that happens.
Had to be,
Brett's seen the video.
Yeah.
It was a hot dog move. I mean, there's no other way to. You can't sugarcoat it. I mean, it was a hot dog move.
Was it an incredible play where he had to
No.
dive?
No.
He couldn't. He wouldn't have had time to flip it in the air.
No,
if he
that's
was
what I'm
diving.
saying. It's just a hard hit ball.
Hard hit ball right
at
at
the
him.
shortstop.
Right at him.
But-
And I don't know where he came up with. I know he's been practicing it though, because it looks smooth as silk.
Oh yeah, and like you said, he even put it like he spun the ball. Is
it good for the game or is it bad?
strange?
To me,
Well, you don't want to see high school players trying to do that. Little
That
league
may be
players
next.
trying to do
That
that.
may be
And
next.
that's-
A lot of things we never
college.
saw.
You don't even want to see college players do it.
Yeah.
What did we see?
I think
Mike?
college players are smart enough.
Well, no,
to
we're
know
seeing so many
not to
things I
try
never
that.
thought I'd see in high schools. We are seeing, including, I don't know whether we're going to discuss it, the NIL thing.
Yeah, it's already shot down.
Yeah.
Legislature
They
said.
did shut it.
Well, that's what
Let's
that's what I'm
please
hearing.
not
They're gonna-
discuss.
They're going to
Please
say.
not
They're going
discuss
to
it.
say not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
And I told Lanny this morning when I come in, we talked about that. I mean, I'm a firm believer. NCHSA knew this all the time.
Yeah.
We won't be the bad guy. We'll say, yes, you can do it, because we know they're going to shoot it down.
Right.
And then you can't blame us. No parents can call us because we voted for it.
Good point.
I don't know if that's the way it went or not, but that's what's in my head.
Speaking of high school, do the brackets come out today?
Yeah.
Baseball,
Monday.
softball,
Tomorrow.
Monday.
Monday.
Oh, Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
And they start Tuesday.
Isn't that something? They're not coming out till Monday. Well, if you got a charter or a
You
bus.
can't do much scouting.
No.
You can't do much planning.
But it's
Why?
it's equal for everybody.
Why is that?
They're not
why
working on
Monday?
Saturday. But my guess is they just don't go to the office on Saturday anymore to get it out.
So
I don't
they're not-
know.
The
I mean,
playoffs
Now,
are
do
important.
this is done by Max Prep's rankings, just like other
You can
sports,
just
right?
about figure
That's
out
what I
who
was
you
wondering.
play.
Did they
You can just
do they
about-
have a good idea?
Lenny sends me Wonder Franco. Yeah,
Wonder Franco.
you need to. I'll show you the video.
I want
here
to
in
see
a minute,
that
Mike.
video.
Yep, I'll show it to you here whenever we take our next time out, which is coming up here briefly. But yeah, the seedings are not coming out according to the website. Seeding, it says Monday.
And the plan
May the
will be games on Tuesday and Friday
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
Yep.
for the first 4 rounds.
I wonder how much this bothers coaches, because here, see, the basketball playoffs have been changed because of that. The basketball coaches wanted a day to go on the court and practice and prep for their opponent. So therefore, we saw it go from Monday, Wednesday, Friday to now Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
That's the way we see it. And I totally understand that. If I'm a coach, now I don't know what you can do in baseball. You're not going to go out there and, you can talk about it.
So you just practice.
Right.
Yeah.
You just go practice
You just
Monday.
go practice on Monday. And then like I said, I think the hardest thing about it, only knowing it 24 hours in advance. Yeah. Yep. Getting your transportation lined up. And
yeah, because you could have a 20-minute drive or you could have a 3-hour drive.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. So
kids might have to leave school early in some cases. And
oh, they love that.
They don't mind that a bit.
Yeah. They're hoping they play 3 hours away. I totally understand it.
Field trip.
Yep. They exactly. Let's take that time out. I want Mike to see this video and we'll show it to Lanny too, see what he thinks. But let's take a time out. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Mark it down. Friday, May 26th, it's Milwaukee Tool Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. One day and one day only. Milwaukee Tool sales representatives will be on hand and offering free demonstrations and help answer any question you may have. Plus, right now, Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply has a big new shipment of pine needles. And don't forget about their rentals. Do it yourself. Rent it from Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply. 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flip through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
All right, Brett tells me Final Jeopardy last night. He gets a message from Don Revels that reminds him, because Brett said he was watching as well, Final Jeopardy last night was sports-related. And Brett's going to throw that question at us. The Jeopardy. Or he's going to throw the answer at us.
Yeah. And you will respond in the form of
That's right.
the question.
Or you miss it. Mike Powell. You awake, Mike?
The category was team names.
Yeah.
And it was
Kraken.
An MLB team got this name in 1902 after some of its players defected to a new crosstown rival, leaving young replacements.
So the team that had the people depart is the one got their name.
Yeah.
And they still hold that name today?
It does not give you that in the clue. I did not have that information, so I'm not giving that to you.
Did you get it?
No.
Okay.
No. Not in 30 seconds, I didn't. A Major League Baseball team got this name in 1902 after some of its players defected to a new crosstown rival, leaving young replacements.
Well, it won't be the Dodgers, because I know how they got their name. And it wasn't from it was because of the
what I tried to think
people
of,
walking and dodging trolleys.
What I tried to think, in the little bit of time you have when you're watching it live, was what team came along in 1902 and what city were they in?
Would it not have to be a city that's got two teams in it, though? Chicago, New York,
Philadelphia.
Yeah, but
Los Angeles?
there were
more
LA.
There were more at that time that had Boston had two
Boston
teams.
had two, yeah.
New York had 2 or 3. I don't know. Did they have more? They might have had 3 or 4. I don't know.
So it would, it makes me think the name's got to be something like defectors.
There is a key clue in that within that clue.
We'll say it again.
An MLB team got this name in 1902 after some of its players defected to a new crosstown rival, leaving young replacements.
So it's going to be something like the kids, the babies, I'm on the right track here, because they're so young.
That is the clue within the clue, leaving young replacements.
It's going to be young. So what team is named after youth in Major League Baseball? And it's
a team that's been around since at least 1902, and I will tell you they still
use the name.
They are still around.
Wow.
The Twins? Yeah.
Twins could be 90.
I don't know, it just came to my head.
The Twins could be.
I was thinking New York. I couldn't get New York out of my mind in time to figure this out, and it is not New York.
You're not New York, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cubs.
That's it.
Yeah, got to be Cubs.
The Cubs.
The Cubs.
Good one.
What was it?
The Cubs, and I got it. But
Chicago had 2 teams.
Yeah.
Was that around when
and
had the
Cubs are
the White Sox were one
Cubs are young.
Well, this would have been when the White Sox
that's the only
started.
thing I can think of that.
So
you probably started saying these young Bears. Who knows? Maybe they were the Bears.
Well, that's what I wonder what they were.
Maybe they were the Bears, and then they started calling them
before.
the Cubs because they were so young. So I don't know. That's a good trivia, a good Jeopardy question though. But I probably wouldn't have got it without you helping me. I might not have got it though if you hadn't have told me that there was a big time clue in that question. And there usually is. There usually is on Jeopardy. There's a hidden clue in almost every Jeopardy
I got
answer.
a baseball trivia question for you. It was on our trivia game.
It's like a baseball. Throw it out there.
United Brick Tree Brewing. What year?
Free advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free advertising for Brick Tree.
A second one.
No. What year did Lou Gehrig set his consecutive game playing record?
Oh, gosh.
Become the
1938.
Close. Well, it was broken 56 years later by Ripken.
1937. Well, you just gave it away there. Then
39.
Well, I don't even know what
1939.
39. God, I missed it by 1 year.
I didn't know when Ripken.
I missed it by 1 year. I'll take that. And the reason I guessed that year is because that's the year my dad was born.
Yeah.
38. Yeah. So. And we already talked about J.J. Cale was born in 38.
So they were the Chicago Orphans before Cubs.
Why in the world?
They started as they started as the Chicago White Stockings.
Oh.
It makes me wonder if they got the.
Then they went to the Chicago Colts.
If most of their teams came from an orphan, most of their team when they first started came from an orphanage. Was that possible?
They went to the Colts and then the Orphans and then the Cubs.
The Colts is a great name, and not enough teams have it. You know.
I saw a great horse name the other day. Usain Colt, racehorse.
Fastest horse alive. I love it. I love it. That is great. That is clever. Usain Colt.
Usain Colt.
And I saw a list that had a bunch of good ones, but that was the one that stood out to me.
That wouldn't be hard to beat, especially because he was the fastest man alive. You know, it's not just that the name rhymes, but that the fact that he was the fastest. What would you call that in his species? I guess. Yeah, that horse is probably the slowest one on the track. What you want to bet? Usain Colt. It's not running in the Derby, is it?
And that's not a real. There might be a horse out there. No, these are names that would be great for a racehorse.
There will be. If there's not, there will be soon. Somebody will jump all over that.
What's your favorite name of all time for racehorses?
I don't know. I mean, I've never really given that a lot
of
thought.
Man of War's,
Man of War's not bad. Yeah. Secretariat.
Of course.
Just because of the results.
Yeah.
and the that's the horse that should have been named Usain Bolt. His Secretariat should have had that. Should have had that name. I was going to ask you guys, you see any free agent signings during the week once the draft ended last Saturday? Anything that happened after? You know, we came in on Saturday morning, so we had the first, second, and third round to talk about a little bit. Anything happened in the finals? Who was Mr. Irrelevant? Does anybody know who was Mr. Irrelevant?
Last guy.
Because Mr. Irrelevant last year became relevant very fast. Do you know who it was last year? Mr. Irrelevant last year.
Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He became relevant very fast.
I do have one note, though. Because of something that happened in the draft, Nick Foles is now looking for a job again. He got cut by the Colts.
Did he?
Yeah, they signed, of course, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
and they still have, what's the guy's name with the mustache? Quarterback. Minshew. And somebody else.
The Gardner Minshew. Yeah. Well, they don't have Carson Wentz.
No.
Is Carson Wentz in the league?
That's a good question.
Or did he get let go?
Well, he did get let go
in his final.
By Washington.
Well, we don't know if it's his final failure, but in his final attempt to save his job.
It seems like he has been picked up. But I can't remember. I don't know. I mean, he'll be on the roster if he's not right now.
Yeah.
How big was Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? There's a news story on here today about the guy that got his locker. And the guy's quote was, "It's just a locker."
Just a locker.
At least he's down to earth.
Did you know that the Jets have added 4 former Packers since?
Well, I know Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb
is like mini A-Rod. He follows him around
wherever he goes.
Yeah. Of course, he only been 2 places, but Cobb left. He got traded away, played for somebody else a couple years, but Green Bay brought him right back as soon as they could. But he's like Rodgers' security blanket. Who are the other 2 Packers? That
let me go. Yeah,
moved.
I saw it earlier.
Yeah.
Let me see. Back to ESPN.
All right, let me throw this out here. Who will have the better record this fall? The Packers or the Jets?
Well, that's a good one.
Jets.
Yeah.
I think the Jets will too. I don't think the Packers are going to be bad, especially if Love comes through at quarterback.
That's going to be the one.
It is. That's the
one
question
of the biggest
mark.
intriguing questions of the season.
And you know what? The people of Green Bay, I mean, they've only seen Brett Favre for 20 years and Aaron Rodgers for 20 years. I mean, that's a long time of things working out. And look at how many other quarterbacks have started in the NFL. You know, I mean, just Cleveland alone has 20 times that or more in that period of time. You know, and they were lucky enough to have. And there's been some franchises do that. Not many though. Not many have that longevity. Of some guys.
Here are the other ones. Wide receiver Alan Lazard. Quarterback
yep.
Tim Boyle.
And you know what? Rodgers wanted him too. Rodgers wanted Lazard.
Tackle Billy Turner and, of course, Randall Cobb.
Okay. Yeah. Not sure I would have got those others. I might have thought of Lazard after a while, but you know, the New York Packers moving in, getting ready to. So you guys think it's a shoe in that the Jets have a better record? The Jets were pretty good last year.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, if I'm deciding between two teams, I'll just take the one with the better quarterback.
Right. And he's proven and the other one's not.
And I think their rosters are probably pretty even outside of the quarterback. But I just don't see Jordan Love. I just don't think he's going to be very good.
Really?
Yeah.
Time will tell. I want to read a couple comments that we got. Lenny says the cockiness, he's going back to the baseball and Wander Franco. The cockiness comes with him. He was delivered to Tropicana Field to start his career by a stretch limo on the night of his first game.
That's nice.
And then Lenny also goes on to talk about the Leonard Skinner song, Call Me the Breeze. Call Me the Breeze and T for Texas, the live versions from Fox Theater, are two of my favorites. So
yeah, that's an old country song by, I think, let's see, Ernest Tubbs, maybe, somebody like that.
Richard said the reason that the seedings are coming out on Monday is not because they don't go to the office on Saturday. It's so teams can't move games to Monday. Teams can't move games to Monday, so the best pitcher can't pitch. If he exceeds limits in the first game, he will not be available the second game. Yeah, okay, I understand what he's saying now. If they do the pairings today, some coaches will want to move their games up. I just tell them you can't. You know, it's state mandated. You have to start on Tuesday.
Right.
I do know that a local conference tournament moved the championship of the conference tournament to Thursday instead of Friday night, so they would have the 3 days to get their aces back on the mound. Yep, and I totally understand that.
A couple tournaments ended last night, though.
Well, that's their fault.
In our area.
Tournaments are getting ready to be a thing of the past.
Seems so.
Yeah. Except in basketball. This was done because of few select coaches that would always try to move their games up. Yeah, and that, you know, that's so. I understand with the rules like they are, gives you that extra day to take off some of that pitch count and have them available for the next game. But if I wanted them out on Saturday though, if the state wanted to put them out on Saturday, they could do so and say nobody can start before Tuesday.
Sure they can.
And I don't think anybody moved their game to Saturday just to get that extra day, because then if you are fortunate enough to win, you got the following Tuesday to deal with again, right? You got right back in the same situation once again. That's we're just so used to seeing all the brackets come out
on
Saturday that you kind of get used to it. The drawback for us is we can't get the pairings in the newspaper before the games are played.
That's right.
So that's what
Don't
happens.
like that at all.
No, that's what happens in a case like ours. You don't have that opportunity to get the pairings out because the paper will come out on Monday. The pairings will come out after the paper's already complete.
That's right.
No way around it. So, and I'm not going to speculate who will get in the playoffs and who won't and where they'll be seated, because just to be flat honest, you just really don't know anymore. I mean, you could go look at the Max Prep rankings and have a very good idea. But
well, can we say with any authority or credibility that we will have a Lincoln County baseball team in the playoffs? I don't know.
Oh, I think we have 3.
You do?
Yeah. I think you have 4. I think you have 4 of the 5.
West Lincoln.
Yeah.
North Lincoln.
Absolutely, North Lincoln.
East Lincoln.
Yes.
Lincoln Charter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I think 4 of the 5. And did you know last night a number 4 seed won a tournament? CVAC softball, West Caldwell.
Oh.
Winners of the conference tournament. That bumps
so they're in.
number 2 Bandy's down a spot.
Yeah.
Because you get that second place seeding. 5-1 last night. West Caldwell won at West Lincoln. That's the number 4 seed winning the conference tournament. And I can't remember the last time I saw a 4 seed win a conference tournament, whether it be softball, baseball, basketball. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. It has to have happened, but
certainly didn't see it last night.
That's why it's important. That's why those end of season tournaments can be important. West Caldwell would have been in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, but now they get a 2. Because they're 21-6 and finished 4th.
Here we have the rubber match between Cherville and Burns last night, and Southern Piedmont 1A, 2A baseball. Cherville wins at 6-3.
Good morning, Mike Painter. He says, did they go by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association baseball RPI for the playoffs? I think so. I think that's the way it's. I think
RPI.
Yeah. Obviously, you seed the 1s first, but they're in order of RPI. And I think they seed the 2s as well in order of RPI, and then it's just RPI, period, from that point on. Lenny says T is for Texas is an old Jimmy Rogers.
Jimmy Rogers, yeah. I knew somebody like that, Rogers. Ernest. I thought Ernest Tubbs, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
No.
And it wasn't Mr. Rogers. It was Jimmy
for
Rogers.
Texas. That was recorded by a lot of people. Waylon Jennings recorded it later.
For some reason, I know I've heard it, but I can't get it in my mind.
Yeah.
What that particular, what wasn't it? T is for Texas?
T's for Texas, yeah.
Yeah. One of these weeks we'll go with a what's your favorite song with Texas in it.
Oh, my God.
Because I would hope everybody's is different. Because there's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of them. And way more country songs.
I know, I can tell you mine right now.
Right. You can.
That quick. But I won't.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Just throw it out there. I don't mind throwing
Lukenbach, Texas.
Lukenbach, Texas, yeah.
You guys want to pick a
mine's George Strait, I Can't See Texas from here.
A Derby winner?
Good one.
Pick a Derby winner, sure.
Right. Give me some names.
This is how they're lining up today. Hit show, verifying.
Now you said hit show.
Yeah, HIT.
Okay.
30-1, verifying 15-1, 2 Fields 12-1, Confidence Game 20-1, Tap It Trice 5-1 odds.
Ooh, I like that name.
Tap It Trice, like that alliteration.
I'm going to give you my favorite right here in the 6th spot, Kings Barnes 12-1 odds.
Kings Barnes.
Reincarnate is 50-1.
Ooh.
Mage, M-A-G-E, Mage. I guess how you say 15-1.
Could be Maj, who knows?
And there's Skinner.
Could be Maggie.
And Practical Move, and they doesn't show any odds for them.
No,
I don't know.
They probably
Maybe they
win.
were replaced.
I'm going to go with Tap It Trice at 5-1.
And Brett went with
Kings Barnes.
And I'm going with
that's 12-1. Now the favorite is Forte at 3-1.
Ooh. I'm going Verify. Where was it?
Verifying,
yeah.
Starting in the 2nd spot and 15-1 odds.
I'll go with Verifying.
Another one I like
that's
is
Verified.
Derma Sodagaki.
Derma Sodagaki.
Wow.
I still wish that
good luck calling that one down the stretch.
Usain Colt was racing. Because I would definitely take me some Usain Colt.
Angel of Empire, another one of the.
That's a good name. Angel of Empire.
8-1 odds.
That sounds too much like Star Wars to me. I don't know if I can handle it. Yeah. I was so glad when the May the 4th was over. That May the 4th be with you.
Yes, we have that, and then Cinco de Mayo
back to back.
Yeah.
That I was glad when that was over. Now Sullivan, he might have enjoyed that, but not his grandpa.
That was last night, right? Cinco de Mayo. Yeah,
it was.
Yep.
Because today is
Seis de Mayo.
Seis. Okay, I'm glad you come up with that. I never got it. Seis de Mayo today. So,
oh,
you gonna celebrate that?
Yeah. Before we leave, fear the horn, guys.
I saw that. I saw Mike's got on the big Gaston shirt.
Softball team within one win of a regional tournament title. Baseball team won their opener yesterday, so still alive.
And we want to wish all our local teams that are going to make the playoffs the best. The baseball, softball playoffs coming up this week. Soccer playoffs. Girls soccer will begin very soon.
Don't
as
forget
well.
Dual team tennis playoffs.
Tennis is going on.
Did Cherryville's conference have a tournament?
Yeah,
baseball tournament.
Cherryville won it last night.
Did they?
6-3 over Burns.
Okay,
I've seen they've been number one in the state. Yeah. Are they still? Are they right now?
Not sure.
And Burns was too, right? Wasn't Burns number one at one point?
How about that?
I
thought that bodes well for.
They split in the regular season.
Post 100.
Yeah, it does. Well, everybody's they're loaded.
I'll tell you who I wouldn't want to play though out of these, especially these 2A teams. Like Burns is going to be in. Rutherford County's loaded.
Yeah, that's true.
Chase, RS Central, and East Rutherford are all three very good.
But see, Cherryville doesn't have to worry about them. They're
nope,
1A.
They do not. You're exactly right. They do not. They have to worry about the Lincoln Charters.
They do.
No, they don't. Lincoln Charter's 2A now.
That's right.
They don't have to worry about Lincoln Charter, but
I don't know who they have to worry about, but there'll be somebody.
Is Whiteville still 1A?
It's a great question.
They would love to get that far. If you get to Whiteville, you're playing in the state championship series, unless of course Whiteville, and they can't be moved to the east anymore.
Well, I don't know how good Perquimans is this year. I guess that might.
And that's who won it last year, right? Defending champs beat Cherryville 2-1.
Yep,
2 games to 1 in that. Hey, it's almost here, which means we're not that far from the end of the school year.
Congratulations to Bruce Bullock and Danny Aker will be inducted into the NC Sports American Legion Hall of Fame today.
And don't leave out our buddy Gerald Young either.
Oh, yeah, Gerald Young.
A lot of people don't know Gerald, but
and
he's
Phil Tate.
Class act. Phil Tate as well.
Legendary Phil Tate as well.
Yep. Gerald Young has run the Charlotte team for years and years and years.
So very worthy.
One of my favorite people to run into.
Very worthy inductees.
Yes, they are. For Brett, Mike, I'm David. Thanks for tuning in to Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.